In an environment like this, it's difficult enough to make money, but it's even harder when you're paying a 48% tax on the income you do make from investing. There used to be a time when you could bank in Switzerland and avoid that sort of problem, but those legal loopholes have been shut thanks to new accords between the Swiss and nations like the UK. So who would bother to bank in Switzerland now that these tax benefits are gone? Well, there are more than 160 private banks in the country asking themselves exactly that question. Well, my next guest says that these lenders have to grow or die. He says that a private bank is going to need 100 billion francs under management at least in order to survive in the new environment. Well, to give you an idea, just 7 banks currently punch at that weight. Well, from Zurich, we're joined by Arno Endres. He's head of research at Luzerner Kantonalbank. He joins us now. So very good to see you. Tell me, in this new environment is effectively a Switzerland without a tax haven status. So you're saying that from the 160 private banks that have been sprung up because of Switzerland's status as a tax haven, they're now going to have to consolidate down to just a few.
Yes, that's true in a way. If Swiss banks are trying to fulfill their business model as they used in the past, I guess size is crucial in this environment. There's one other option. If a Swiss bank decides to cover a certain niche, let's say a specific market like Germany, then they could do it without having that size you just mentioned.
Just explain to us again why you think size is so important. It's because of the cost pressures on these banks. What's making it so difficult for them to make money specifically?
I mean, you have to take into account that regulations from all different markets are growing. So the cost to cover all these additional requirements is tremendous, and you could not do that for all the markets at one time and have not the cost involved that is necessary. Profitability has gone down already in certain cases.
So just actually spell it out for us very clearly. Just what are the costs linked to these agreements that the Swiss have reached with the UK government, with the German authorities, with the US about how much they're going to reveal in terms of who has bank accounts with them?
Well, the cost involved is you first have to understand the whole requirements from the different markets. For example, the German authorities have a tremendous set of legal requirements which you need to understand. You need to take into account what set of requirements has to be fulfilled. You need to hire compliance officers. You need to train your staff in this context.
Right.
And the same is true for other markets like the US as well.
So what's the bottom line? If we've got 160 of these banks in Switzerland, where do you predict that number is going to be in a few years' time?
It really depends on the overall market development. Right now, we have a tremendous pressure on different levels for the Swiss banks. We have capital requirements overall on the level of Basel III. We have now the allegations to certain banks in terms of subprime mortgages, and the latest round now is that again the US is requiring data from 10 banks within Switzerland. So if all this comes together, consolidation will probably be faster than many market participants have thought in the past.
All right, we have to leave it there. Arno Endres, head of research there at Luzerner Kantonalbank. Well,